Hey everybody, it's Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters, and today's video is not going to be about a specific claim, but about the claim process. Do you know what an appraisal is? An appraisal is a process in your homeowner's insurance policy. It's important that you know this, especially if you have a claim. So what is the appraisal process in a homeowner's insurance claim? And I'll tell you why I'm not a big fan of this process. So let's get into it. What is an appraisal? When the insurance company makes some type of payment and you disagree with it, you have a right within a policy and some policies to request an appraisal. Some companies, like State Farm and Allstate, you may disagree. You may go to file the lawsuit either by way of your public adjuster or your attorney, and then these companies have a right because of the language to invoke an appraisal, which essentially blocks your ability to move forward in a lawsuit. Now, there can be times your attorney, if you're involved with that attorney, will go to the court, go to the judge and say, Your Honor, we still should try to move forward with this lawsuit. Here's the reason why. 99% of the time, the judge is going to say, nope, go through the appraisal. Why? They don't want these on their calendars, and there's a strong base of case law where the judges have ruled time and time again when when the insurance companies invoke appraisal, you have to do the appraisal. So let's talk about some basics. So there's two appraisers in an appraisal process, one that represents the insurance company, one that will represent you. All right? There's one umpire who makes the decision. Now a little bit more about the language in an appraisal. There's two different types of languages in policies. One will say if you and we disagree on an amount, either has a right to request an appraisal. That's one. Here's the other. If you and we disagree on an amount, either can we request an appraisal, but both have to agree. That's an out for the insurance company, right? So you can agree and they say, nah, we don't want the appraisal. So here's the supposedly positives of an appraisal. It's supposed to be a faster, more efficient alternative to trial or filing a lawsuit. There are some protections now. So an appraisal process should be done in 90 days or you can have the court intervene. However, if the court intervenes, it could be everything is reset and you're back to square one. And then finally, you have an umpire that makes a decision as far as the determination of an appraisal award. Here's the cons of an appraisal. The cost. So, in some cases, your public adjuster can serve as an appraiser. All right? Other cases, depending on the insurance company, for instance, State Farm, they state that you have to be a competent, independent appraiser. So what that means, their argument is, and this hasn't been answered yet, but depending on what district court of appeals you're in Florida, there's several, 5 or 6, I believe, depending where you're at, some rule in favor of the option of State Farm and some do not. So Miami, to give you an example, that's DCA 3. They state no, a public adjuster can serve as an appraiser even with that constricted language about independent and competent. Other areas around Florida, it may not be as beneficial, right? So there's ways around it. So the costs, if you have to hire somebody, say you have a claim with State Farm, they force you into an appraisal process and you are represented by a public adjuster. They'll force you to get an appraiser. That's going to cost $1,500. The umpire costs are split between you and the insurance company. Normally that's going to be $1,500 or $3,000 on your end. So let's just say the umpire fee is $5,000. That means you have to pay $2,500 on top of your appraiser fee. So you're talking about $4,000. Okay? It's not always a faster process. I think some of the claims we've been forced in appraisal. I've got one going on right now. It is probably 8 months. Another one now is going on 5 months. These are just active. They never seem to be fast resolving. Even there's a lot of reasons for that, which I won't get into because it's a whole another long video. Sorry. It's late, so I'm trying to spit out my words. Okay, you have no control over the final award because one person, an umpire, has the ultimate authority. Now, the appraisers can settle it, and they're supposed to settle it. 99% of the time, they don't. And let me explain the reason why. This is very important to know. Public adjusters, if you're watching, I'll give you a tip. Well, actually, maybe I'll go on to the next screen. But 99% of the time, it goes on to the umpire to make a decision. And let me tell you the reasons why on this. So this is my thought. I'm not a big fan of appraisals. They take longer than what they're supposed to. It's supposed to be expedited, but it's not really an expedited process in my opinion. Okay? Awards can't be challenged. I have a termite case. We've got a $70,000 plus appraisal award. Citizens is challenging it. Citizens is the worst insurance company in Florida. It is state run. Cost to the client, why I'm not a big fan. And in order for an appraisal to be worthwhile, based on the costs that the client absorbs, the claim would have to be worth well in excess of $50,000. And I don't think that it serves people the best. I would rather an individual have control of their own destiny. With a lawsuit, you can decide to take or reject any offers made. You are in control. Okay? There's not one person that decides your award. You have more control over that rather than the umpire. So the thing that I was kind of talking about that I wanted to get into a little bit was that in the appraisal process, all right, you're going to find that appraiser, this is another reason why I'm not a big fan. The appraiser for the insurance company will never, ever, ever settle a claim. Because if he settled the claim and paid too much based on what the insurance company thinks, the insurance company will never use him again. So almost everything goes to an umpire. So public adjusters, here's my advice to you guys, if you haven't employed this yet. Okay? When you get the assignment for an appraisal, or if you are the appraiser, okay, representing the insured, or maybe you're hired by somebody else to represent somebody else's claim, that's fine. Request the inspection for everybody right off the bat. The insurance company appraiser is going to push back and say, no, let's see if we can get this settled. It's not going to get settled. It's a bunch of bullshit. The other thing I would give a tip on, whoever the umpire is, put in strict deadlines that have to be met. The inspection needs to take place by this date, and award needs to take place this many days after. The umpires take forever. There's one really, really good umpire who will return an award within a week. I'm not going to mention his name. Everybody else, it drags on. And you need to set deadlines prior to agreeing to anybody. If the umpire doesn't want to agree, move on to another umpire. But you've got to set deadlines on this stuff. You've got to protect the homeowner. Anyhow, it's an interesting tidbit that a lot of people don't know about, but you should know about it. My name's Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. Here's how you can reach me by cell phone, email, website. I apologize, it's late, and I'm a little tired, but try to get through this as best I can. Thanks for watching this video.